Hey guys, Rexasaur here, and welcome to another Total War Warhammer lore, where today I will be talking about the Skaven, since this is my 13th video of the series, and Skaven's lucky number is 13. But yeah, so Skaven, they're my race. They're the race that I play on the tabletop, is the race that I know the most about, so I'm going to try and do this really briefly, but I may go on a tangent. Anyway, Skaven live underneath the Empire. They live underneath the old world. They live in what's called the Under Empire, and basically they're rats. They're just rat men. So they live in all the sewers. They live underneath a whole contingent of cities, and they're basically countless and countless billions of rats. But where did they originate? Well, the story goes that there was once a city, a great city, a long time ago, who were, it was just massive farmlands and stuff, and they were pretty happy, and they decided, why not build a big church and a big bell tower. So they did, and it took them years and years and years, and it was, it took a long time, and then a mass stranger came to their city and said, I can help you finish it off, finish off. He's like, okay, you do that. And as they went to bed, they woke up the following morning, I think, and it had been done. There had been constructed, the tower had been finished. There was a massive bell in the top of the tower, and they were all really happy. The following night, they went to bed, and the bell started chiming, and it chimed 13 times. And on the 13th time, all of the inhabitants had disappeared, and the Skaven had emerged. So do make what you want of that story. That is the how the Skaven came to be, apparently. And there we go. So the Skaven are split into a lot of clans, and they fight a lot amongst each other. Skaven hierarchy is constantly changing. As one clan gets better than the other, much like the orcs, they fight one another, and the strongest clan will take the weakest clan into their possession. And literally into their possession, and clans will be owned by several people. The hierarchy within each clan changes continuously between the warlords, and the chieftains keep backstabbing each other, trying to get power within them. And this is a really, really good way to keep the Skaven clans under control. Luckily for all of the other factions in Warhammer, this is working, and also luckily for the leaders of the Skaven themselves. Now, the Skaven have had one major civil war that almost broke them to the brink of ruin, and that's when came forth the Greyseers. Now, the Greyseers are the priesthoods of the Skaven, who worship someone called the Great Horned One. Now, the Great Horned One is a rat, believe it or not, and he's part of the Chaos Gods, but he's not one of the main four. He lives in the realm of Chaos. And some of them think, there's stories amongst that he sort of lives near the Nurgle side of stuff, because he is a very plaguey kind of character. There we go. So the Greyseers, who are the worshippers and the priesthoods of that, sort of rule over the Skaven, but not really in that way. Now, the Skaven are actually ruled by a what's called the Council of 13. Which there are 12 members, plus the Great Horned One himself, who has the 13 seats, why not? And all of these are the strongest clans. Now, 4 of the most known and strongest clans are Clan Skyer, who are a lot of engineers, and who work with war engines and cannons, and make all the guns and kind of stuff, and they're very, very versatile in making these contraptions, and they sell these contraptions to other clans who will use them against each other and against the enemy. You have Clan Molder, who are beast tamers. They actually genetically modify themselves and beasts to become abominable and other stuff, and it's quite gruesome but really awesome, because they have these massive rat ogres and other things. You have Clan Ishan, who are the badassness. They are assassins and it's basically the assassin clan. They do all the dark stuff. They don't actually in the lore, they're not very active in the kind of, you don't see a lot of them because they're so sneaky kind of people. But they're still really powerful, and everyone knows about them. And they're very mercenary. So if you pay them off, they will kill someone kind of thing. And finally, we have Clan Pestilence, who are basically, they're the ones who, during the Lizardman video, I told you, they're the clan who went to Lustria, got lost, came back and were full of plagues and all of that, and then they fought their way to the Council of 13 in the Second Civil War. Now, so those are 4 of the main clans. Of course, there's a lot of other clans, but the clan structure is basically, you have a warlord who rules a clan, you have his lieutenants who are chieftains, and then under that you have single units, stuff like clan rats, and then under the clan rats, who are the warriors, you have a whole load of slaves who can be rats from different people, from different clans, can be humans, can be elves, people that they've captured over time. And these will work in the Under Empire, creating new land and stuff. So anyway, that is Skaven. I'm sorry, that took like over 5 minutes. Holy crap. But yeah, so that's basically Skaven. That is how they work. That is their structure. That is the 4 main clans, the Great Horned One. So what kind of units do the Skaven have? Well, Skaven have a lot of different units. They have units for each of the 4 great clans and each of the warlord clans. Now, a warlord clan is just a basic clan, one of the normal ones. So, you have units such as the Gracier. They are the generals. They are powerful wizard. And Skaven magic, they don't use the winds of magic. They use Skaven magic. It's called the spells of ruin and the spells of plague. And they're very destructive. There is literally just destruction. Ruin is just pure destruction. Plague is like hexes and curses on the enemy to make them die and make them poison and like slowly kill them off, kind of thing. But it's very offensive magic. So you have the Gracier, who wields that massive power. They also have a unit called the Screaming Bell, which is based on basically, it chimes and it destroys stuff, kind of thing. It's really like awesome magic, but it's really strange. You have Clan Skyra units, so you're going to have things like the Warp Lock engineers, who basically work all the mechanics and who wields ruin magic. You have things like the Warp Lightning Cannon, which is overly powerful but misfires all the time. You have the Doom Wheel, which is ridiculously fun but really shitty on the tabletop kind of deal. Next you have Clan Ishan stuff. You have assassins, you have gutter runners, which are like mini assassins, but the assassins look so cool, and they're not like incredibly powerful, but the thing is like they can wield powerful weapons, which can really destroy the enemy. Next you have Clan Molder. So Clan Molder can have things like rat ogres, which are really brute powerful rats that have been modified to be like ogres basically. And then you have things like the Hellpit Abomination. Now the Hellpit Abomination is I think it's some kind of worm kind of creature that's only lives in the Chaos Wastes, and they've been like injecting it with all these things, attaching rats to it, and it's ridiculous. It's an amazingly fun unit to use on the battlefield, but it's like ridiculously like sometimes it just doesn't want to do what you want it to do. Next you have Clan Pestilence, so you have things like the Plague Priests, who are the equivalent of Warlock engineers, but for Clan Pestilence, so they wield plague magic, not ruin magic, and they lead plague monks and plague censer bearers, and they're all there just plaguing along, and they're very resilient rats compared to all the others, but they're slower as a consequence. So yeah, so those are the main kind of things. You've also got the disciples of the plagued ones. So things like with Chaos, you had the greater demons. The horned one, the great horned rat, also has his own greater demons. They're called Vermin Lords. In the tabletop, I'm not entirely sure if they're any good. Like, they're not any good from what I've played of them, but recently they've had an update which I haven't actually played, so I'm not entirely sure if they're any good or not still. But I don't think they are. But like, it's a greater demon of the horned rat. It's incredibly powerful. It's a wizard as well, so it can use these amazingly strong Skaven spells of destruction, amongst other things. Anyway, so that's Skaven. I bloody adore Skaven, and to me, I mean, this video was one of my longest ones, but to me this is really short because there is so much I can talk to you about the Skaven, because I absolutely adore them. Next videos are going to be about the 4 leaders and characters of the 4 factions that are going to be in the base game, or the 4 races that are going to be in Total War Warhammer on release. Also, we know at this time. And thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you hadn't done so already, and I will be seeing you next time.